Today on the channel, we're going to talk about the incredible power of something I just blew out. Today on the channel, we are talking about one of the most underrated preparedness items and the insane amount of power inside one simple Tealight candle. Let's talk about it. There's an incredible amount of energy inside this little flickering candle. In fact, there's around 75 to 85 BTUs. Technically, if you're doing a one-to-one conversion, that would mean 25 to 30 watts of electricity. That could essentially power your phone several times if you could harness that energy. And for something that costs anywhere between 3 to 10 cents, this is a no-brainer for preparedness. Not only does the candle provide heat, but it also provides illumination. Today I want to show you a new product that drastically exceeded our expectations.
There you were, in the dark new world, vigorously squinting, trying to decipher the ancient text. Damn it! I can't make it out. Until a new tool, like a gift from the gods, illumination, and there was light once again.
Can you please explain to me how thermoelectricity works in 2 sentences or less?
Sure. Thermoelectricity is generated when a temperature difference across a material causes charge carriers to move, creating an electric current. This process is known as the Seebeck effect.
That was more than 2 sentences.
Let me simplify it.
You disappoint me.
Thermoelectricity is produced when a temperature difference across a material causes an electric current. This effect is called the Seebeck effect.
Thanks, ChatGPT. So what we're going to do, we've tested thermoelectric devices on the channel before, but oftentimes they're actually not that efficient. Today, we're going to be showing you something that's actually made in Canada, and this is rather unique for a few reasons. Number one, they claim that this generates 100 times more light than the Tealight candle itself using the BTUs, which are converted into light. So remember when I said that a candle light is around 75 BTUs? Well, that's around 25 watts of electricity. Nowadays, with modern LED technology, 25 watts can actually generate a lot of light. So I'm going to show you how it works. So this is a very well-built system, as you can see. Everything built on it is premium. It's made in Canada, and so don't be taken aback by the price point, which is $200 USD. I know it's crazy, but when you think about what this thing can actually do, if you're a prepper and you have your 10,000 Tealights stored away, which you should, there's no excuse when these things are so cheap, you can actually harness those Tealights in a way that's very safe, in a way that's going to also generate heat and also produce light and illumination in a way that does not rely on any type of electricity like solar power or flashlights. So let's put this in here. So basically all you do, there's a little door here, and you know, I'm very impressed with this, just the design. This is glass. This is a heavy gauge stainless steel. Everything about this is built really top notch. It's got a lot of weight to it. So this is definitely meant not only to be something that's for emergency preparedness, but this is something that would look perfectly fine in a house as a piece of decor. So it has this spot for your Tealight candle. You just put it in there. You just want to make sure that the actual candle that you put in there is the right size. So there's different sizes of Tealight candle. I don't think it really needs to be on this thing, but you can see it has this heat dissipation ridges. So I think the objective of that is to amplify the effect of the heat that's going to be generated by the candle. If you don't have that, it's still going to work. It's just not going to work as good. So this is the part here that we want to get hot. We want that flame going into there. So you can see you can actually pull this off, and these are these heat fins that's going to collect the heat. And then as it cools, that heat differential is going to be used to power the LED. So the candles you need for this in order to work properly are 4-hour, 16mm, or for you Americans, 5/8 inch Tealight candles. As it's charging up, you're gonna notice that light is gonna start to come on the bottom. So here we have a simple Tealight candle by itself. Now we have that same Tealight candle inside the Thermoelectric lantern, and you can see right now it is being used for area lighting, and it is much brighter than just the candle. All we're doing is we're converting that heat energy from that candle into LEDs. Now, if you want to use it for area lighting, this has a convenient feature, and it's built really tough, although I wish there was a handle on top of here so that you could pull this up. You got to work it in, I guess, over time, but I'm always worried I'm going to damage it. So you can elevate it probably about a foot or so. So if you want to direct that light into certain places, you can do that. That's about as forward as it goes. So if you were doing some reading or something like that, you had a book right here. And out the top, it throws off a bit of heat too. And it's incredible how much heat one little candle can generate. In fact, a buddy of mine over at Far North Bushcraft and Survival, he has a great video on how you can survive in winter with just one candle and a thermal blanket. If there was a lights out, grid down emergency, something like this would be so efficient. Because when you think about it, one tea light can last 4 hours. You can buy 100 tea lights for $5 or $7. That's essentially 400 hours of light. So really that is 30 days worth of light continuous for $5. The other great thing about this is that it's much safer than just having candles laying around. Of course, fire safety is a big thing in emergency preparedness, especially if you're using candles. With this, because it's fully enclosed, there's very little risk of this being tipped over, catching something on fire, and because you're only using tea lights, they tend to extinguish rather easily when they're pushed around a little bit, so it's not like a bigger candle. This is going to illuminate a fairly sizable space for numerous people to use that light, not only the person who's directly under reading a book. The communist cameraman just made an excellent point though, that if you were to use this outdoors, it actually provides shelter for the candle, not from the sides, but from the top, because of course you need that airflow. It's just one of those things that looks good too, you know, like it's very rare that you find an item that is bushcraft and yuppie urban wife friendly. There's very little overlap between desperate housewives and alone in the wilderness. Like these worlds never come together until now. So when you blow out the candle, the LED is still going to stay on for a couple minutes because it's still diffusing that heat. One thing that would be cool is if there's a way that it was transportable. Technically, you can move it around, but once that tea light is fully liquefied, you're going to be spilling wax all over the place. So if they could find a way to make this technology portable, I think that would be pretty cool. Let's just say this is out of your price range. One of my favorite things for outdoor camping, especially in winter, is a kerosene lantern. Kerosene lanterns are great because they're very efficient. This little bit of fuel will burn for hours on end, and it's going to throw off a significant amount of heat, and it provides a great amount of light, and it is very adjustable. So you can crank it up or you can bring it down if you don't want that much smoke. Get yourself some kerosene. Kerosene's a little bit more expensive than other fuels, but it's very shelf stable. So something like this will be shelf stable for 5 years. You can get one of these kerosene lanterns for $30. You pair that with your kerosene, you get a few wicks, and this is just a great tried and true winter / off-grid preparedness item that everybody should have. Now I can tell you that the heat that this one candle is throwing off is very comparable to what this is throwing off. I would say this is throwing off a little bit more, and it's a bit more radiant. Now, if getting kerosene and getting a kerosene lantern is too much to be bothered with, you can take it down a notch and you can get yourself one of these UCO candeliers. So it's very similar to a kerosene lantern, only you're using candles. So let's get this guy lit up. So we got these candles on these springs. It's gonna continue to push those candles up as they melt, but they can't get through this top part. So this is gonna be generating 3 times the amount of heat, approximately 225 BTUs. So it seems to be generating almost more light than the kerosene lantern. Mind you, we can crank the kerosene lantern up a lot, but then you get a lot of black sooty smoke. Nobody likes that.
I got bronchitis.
So far, this one's throwing off a lot of heat because it's had some time. Now you can get other UCO lanterns. Ouch! You can get, that was hot. You can get other UCO lanterns that take Tealight candles. So you don't need these special kind of candles. And I think I'm gonna have a little bit of a blister because of that. Because that's so damn hot, I'm guessing that I could probably cook on that. So here we have our little titanium cup. We're gonna put it on top of here, and you can hear it almost instantaneously starting to heat up. This is gonna boil this water for sure. So we're gonna put that aside for a second, and we'll show you one of our most cost-effective options. So this is a survival candle. This is made from 100% soy wax for the soy boys. So if you want something a bit more cost-effective, just get yourself one of these 60-hour Canadian Preparedness candles. Oftentimes we get caught up in the world of technology, but nothing beats tried and true analog technology like a candle. All right, guys, so if you want any of these items, the Joy Thermoelectric, the 60-hour survival candle, the Kerosene Lantern, or the UCO triple candle lantern, check out the links in the description section below. Honestly, I would recommend all these products. They're all great. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Canadian Prepper out.
The best way to support this channel is to support yourself by gearing up at CanadianPreparedness.com, where you'll find high-quality survival gear at the best prices, no junk, and no gimmicks. Use discount code PREPPINGGEAR for 10% off. Don't forget, the strong survive, but the prepared thrive. Stay safe.